R to the A to the R to the A to the. Hey y'all, my name is Rachel, so I'm coming to you with a new video. So we're continuing our series of Friday Fives, where I come to you with 5 of my favorite products. And today it's going to be lipsticks. So particularly Mauve Rose Pink lipsticks. So I'm going to be bringing to you my top 5. And so if you're new to my channel, once again, my name is Rachel and I have a preference towards high-end makeup, but I do dibble and dab in different drugstores. So definitely join the family. So I'll go ahead and put a link right here so that way you can stay tuned. And also if you've missed the first 2 series, I have products I could not live without. And then I went into some skincare. So now we're going to focus on the luscious lips. And especially focusing on one of my favorite colors, Mauve Rose. All right, so when it came to the lipsticks, there's a couple things that I was going to look for. First off, I wanted to get something that no matter how many Mauve pinks I have, there was something special about either the formula or the shade or the undertones that made this a stand out. And then it's also, of all the Mauve pinks, ones that I always have a tendency to grab towards. So I noticed that when I picked my top 5, they all were high-end brands, but then I also wanted to do 2 that were not, because I thought that they were worth mentioning. The first, that was the drugstore that I picked up, was Colourpop and the color Big Break. And this is a matte. So I do notice that I have a tendency to pick mattes. I actually think all but 1, and actually I would say 2 are matte lipsticks. That just happens to be my preference. So we'll start with Big Break. And then I'll swatch them first, and then after I have all the swatches, I will also have a try on. So that's Big Break. And so why I picked this one is for $7. Colourpop has some of the best lipsticks. And look at that. This one is more of leaning towards a bubblegummy. So on there, it's a little more bubblegummy than some of the other mauves. So also something I don't like as much is the Colourpop can be a little gritty. It's not completely smooth like some of the other choices above this, but this is just an honorable mention because I wanted to make sure that I had something drugstore in here. And then the next honorable mention is from the brand Milani. So I always refer to Milani as high-end drugstore. So this is in the shade I Am Fabulous, because yes, bitch, I'm fabulous. So this here is another matte. Like I said, it is my go-to. And it's a little more purple than the Colourpop. And it's much smoother to go on. Very creamy for a matte. So very pretty. And something else about a lot of these mauves, I don't need a lip liner. I'm not going to try on any of these, to be fair, with a lip liner. Lip liners always are going to make them look better. But that's also how some of the others made it up higher on the list, because the higher up I go on the list, less and less do I need or even think about a liner. Like that. And so you can see them side by side because they look very similar. That's the thing. Rosy mauve, like this to me is like my everyday girly girls shade. I am very much a girly girl and I love all the different rosy mauves because they make me feel very feminine. And I think that whether I am wearing something that is more spring and fun, or even during the fall, I like to do it with more of a liner to give that look. So let's go actually into the top 5. So followed in the number 5 spot. It is actually, maybe that's why I ended up in top 5, because it's creamy. But this is one of my favorite formulas because it just melts like butter on the lips. So this is the NARS Audacious and the shade Vanessa. So I will go ahead and swatch. So it's much creamier, and actually this is closer to the Colourpop, but it's more pink. It's a little lighter. That's also, oh god. It actually almost feels like I'm putting on a balm after taking those other two off. My lips are kind of tender, and look at that. This is the very creamy. I love the little details. I don't know who took a chunk out of it, but oh, let me move that down so that doesn't happen. Looks like I probably just did that. That's me. And one thing I love about these is the magnet. I just love that sound. Whew, so very pretty. But this is a lighter one, so I typically would wear this with a liner. But the formula, the creaminess, that is why this one is number 5, because of the texture, how hydrating it is. So next we are going into Fenty, and this one, I think they describe it as a matte, but it really still, it's a soft matte is what they describe it as. And this one is one of the more rich mauve pinks. Once again, so like, that's why the drugstore ones just can't compete, because they are not this creamy. And this one definitely takes the number 4 spot because of the color, the lack of having to wear a liner, and in terms of longevity, it's going to get on your cups and your drinks, but it still has some staying power, and it layers well throughout the day. And the number 3 spot is actually Pat McGrath and Omi. So normally Pat would probably be like in my number 1 spot. I do love the formula, the staying power. And then just to compare in the lineup, it's very close to the Milani. So if you're looking for a dupe for this, because they just actually released this in the holiday collection, so if you're looking for a dupe, Milani, I Am Fabulous is very close. But this, it feels like there's nothing on my lips throughout the day. It is not drying. It is, it's just a great overall lipstick, and this takes the number 3. And I have nothing to say bad about this. That's why you know that the number 1 and number 2 are just that good. They're so beautiful. So in the number 2 spot, I have Giorgio Armani. And part of why this takes number 2 spot is, of course, the lipstick itself is gorgeous. Woo. And it has the little Armani sign on there. Let me take it down. And the color on this, it is almost like the upgraded version, even more like the Milani than even the Omi. But I love the color, the purple in this. This is just, it's so unique of a mauve pink. It is definitely leaning towards more of the purple side. This is one of my favorite colors. of my entire collection. The number one spot, they were like close, but this one is still a number two, partly because it's a relatively newer in the collection, but I love the packaging. And then also I didn't want to pick it just because of the packaging, but the fact that I got to engrave it with my favorite saying, Carpe Diem, seize the day. And also the color, because it is so unique. It's lasting. It's also, it has like how Pat McGrath, I can barely feel on my lips. This does the same thing. So taking the number two spot is Giorgio Armani, and the shade is 502. So love that. And I'm pretty sure I said it, but Fenty was Spanked. So 502, and then Fenty is Spanked. And then in the number one position, and this one took the top spot because of staying power, creaminess, texture, packaging. It is just, overall, it has been my favorite matte lipstick I have ever tried, and it is Urban Decay. They make the most amazing comfort matte formulas of any lipstick I've ever tried. They are always my favorite, and this is in the shade Hitchhike. So go ahead and swatch. So this one also has a unique color. I would say it's closest to the Fenty Spanked, where it's going a little bit more pinky, a little red. That is like the most beautiful color. Like the number one and number two are my favorite colors. The packaging doesn't have the magnet, but it's closed. But number one and number two, I can pretty much actually have them interchangeably. But I just think overall, based off of the price and the quality, I would just say the Urban Decay is something that is a lot more practical than say the Giorgio Armani. And then this one, I don't need any type of liner. So once again, these are my top 5 Mosey Mauve Pink shades. So thank you so much for tuning in. And also, if you made it this far, definitely do not hesitate to like and subscribe. And also, this is week 3 of our 5 weeks of Friday Fives. So stay tuned next week so we can see what top 5 category we have going then. And I appreciate you so much for tuning in. And while you're here, go ahead. I've been uploading all kind of different videos. I've been trying Juvias Place. I just got new boxy charms. I have new eyeshadow palettes. This is gonna be lots of new makeup coming. And the UPS man, the DHL man is gonna be my friend, because I also been making a couple orders online that I'm just waiting for some things to come in. So stay and join the family, and there is definitely more to come within the next couple of weeks. And thank you so much for tuning in. All right, bye-bye. Mwah.